Welcome to the Versa Business Tips Podcast. I'm your host, founder, and CEO of Versa Business Systems, Shaheen Mazloom. We're here with a guest today, Tulip Media. Andy, thanks for joining us today. Can't wait to dive in. I love marketing. I love media. Dude, I'm excited to talk to you today. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely, man. So for those out there that don't know who you are and what Tulip Media does, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you guys do.
Sure. So Tulip Media Group, we work with clients all over North America, every corners of the continent. And, what we're really well known for is we're really well known for our custom publishing. So we're really good at managing projects, creating content, and actually creating customized magazines like print marketing, magazines, newsletters, that type of thing. And we also extend, because we're so good at content marketing, we create content that's keyword optimized, and we're really good at the messaging for websites and PPC advertising, that sort of thing as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. When I think of a business needing a magazine, are they generally already doing a lot of like direct mail and things like that already, or like what's ideal for I'm trying to think about it now, like would it even make sense for, like I get Grant Cardone's magazine now. It's the 10X magazine, right? It talks about all his different companies and events that they're doing. And I'm like, what could I fill a magazine with, or a newsletter with? And so you help businesses create those.
Yeah.
Who's like your target audience? Is it really any business, or are there certain types of businesses it makes sense for?
Well, we do a lot of business with associations, for one thing, because they've been doing a magazine, a publication for a long time.
Right.
But we also do a lot of business for, whether it's law firms, insurance companies, manufacturing companies, like anyone who wants to invest in their image, in their brand, and their brand positioning is really a big thing, right? Because when you can hand somebody your brochures or information, but if you hand somebody a copy of your own magazine that you're publishing every quarter or every 2 months or whatever the rhythm is, boy, does that ever set you apart. Like you're the authority in your marketplace.
Yeah.
And, I have an example of a law firm that we work with in Los Angeles, and the guy loves the magazine. He's been a client partner for years, and like, he's the guy, right?
Yeah.
Like,
so how do they utilize that to like get more repeat business, or is it kind of across the board? Repeat business, new business, you name it. Like, where are they putting these magazines? Is it like in doctors' offices and stuff, or?
Well, what we always suggest, there's different distribution strategies you can take, but what I always suggest, magazines go out 3 different ways, and the highest value is when you hand somebody a copy of your own magazine,
right,
over a brochure or something like that. I got a brochure from your competitor or business card, but your own magazine. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
So that is the highest value, but very time consuming. The second best way, the second biggest value, is sending it out to your existing or past clients. So people who know who you are.
Right.
And you're sending them something because, you could be emailing them or sending them messages digitally all day long. And you're going to be one of 4,900 people that reached out to them this month.
Right.
But when you send them a hard copy, your most uncluttered inbox that you have is the post office box outside your office, right?
Yeah.
So when you send them a printed copy of something, it just has such a huge value associated with that, saying, wow, you really value the relationship you have with me. And therefore it instills longevity, loyalty, real client engagement or customer engagement. And then, of course, the third one is, and we do some of that for our client partners, but it's less common, is, we'll buy a target list of, we work with insurance companies that want to build their commercial insurance business, and we'll buy a target list of businesses that are doing $5 million or greater in their marketplace. And we'll buy that list and we'll send them a quarterly magazine. And an interesting thing with that one is that, an insurance company I talked to not long ago, he said, what's interesting is that we get the call now when we reach out and we say, hey, it's so-and-so from Lloyd's Insurance Company. Oh, I heard of you guys. Actually, we get your magazine. Yeah, come on in. And so we get the meeting. where they
Right.
didn't before.
Right. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So, when I think of a magazine, I think of like a monthly, but quarterly, I think any business could do, right? Like it's not a whole lot be able to do 4 issues, and it's not like it's got to be a 30, 40 page magazine, right? Like
That's right.
it could be 15, 20 pages. And
Yeah.
so what are the various things they're putting in there? Are they putting like success stories, value things like, hey, try this within your business, something that's going to maybe help their clientele?
Yeah.
Kind of like you would do on social media, just in a magazine form, right?
Well, that's exactly it. So there's a lot of inspiration for sources of content, and
Right,
our project managers will help you with that because every time we're doing a quarterly magazine, at the beginning of the quarter, we do a an alignment or a launch meeting they call it,
right,
and in there they kind of plan out what's going on every page and what are the stories, what work needs to be done. So there's a lot of inspiration. So if you're writing blog articles already, like you're creating content, if you're
right.
creating videos, we have
Yeah,
clients who just, we publish videos every week, and we're
right.
like, okay, what are your highest performing videos? And
Yeah,
we'll
and
take
then we'll
that,
turn that into an
we'll
article.
we'll
Yeah,
have it written, edited, proofed, and so on into an article that goes into the magazine because it's the way we put it is we'll do all the heavy lifting. We have a team of ghostwriters,
right,
editors, and we do use AI quite a bit, but we always have the human in the loop to make sure
right.
it's hitting the points. And we'll help turn whatever content you have, whether it's blog articles or social media posts or videos, into content. But the other thing, I'm a huge advocate of saying, okay, who's who's a client that you want to feature right now?
Yeah,
Oh, we do a lot of work with ABC Corporation. Well, great. If you make an email introduction to, John Doe at ABC Corporation, the CEO of the company, and tell them that you want to do a feature story of them
yeah.
on the
In
cover
your
of your
magazine.
magazine.
Yeah,
Look, just make an email introduction. We'll do everything else. We'll
right,
interview them. We'll write the article. We'll coordinate a photographer to go to their place, get some good images,
right.
and we'll work them in. They'll be on the cover of your magazine, and there'll be a 4-page or 2-page spread inside your
Yeah,
magazine. So we make it, our brand promise to our client partners is we make it easy. And
yeah.
to do that, we do everything we can to take work off your plate. We make it easy. We make it effective. We have ways of measuring engagement, and we make it enjoyable because, our team, they love to have fun.
Right,
So,
right. So it sounds expensive, man. I got to be honest, Andy.
yeah.
I mean, how big of an investment? When you're talking to an insurance company, right? So, like the insurance client you guys have, are they doing like $20 million a month? Like, do you got to be a big company to have a magazine in it that makes sense, or like, give me an idea
You
of
don't.
what this is going to run?
Yeah, you don't. And I mean, a couple of things. You can do, we have clients that, smaller companies, we do 4-page newsletters for, right? So you can
Right,
start off with a 4-page newsletter, and that's not expensive at all to put out.
right.
But, and then we have others that where we do a 96-page magazine every month, right? Like
Wow.
that's a lot of work.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
It doesn't
yeah,
matter how you cut it, and a big investment. But
yeah.
I'd say, look, our most common size is either a 16-page or a 32-page publication.
Okay.
And the way to think of it, it's anything in print. The very first, like for a 16 pager, for instance, the very first one off the press, the very first one costs you $9,000, pretty much plus or minus, about
Okay.
$9,000, because in there you're paying for all of the content creation,
Yeah, the content creation, the
all the
photography,
design, the
everything. Yeah,
photography, the
that's
layout,
not
the
bad.
press setup. But every other one, it's just pennies because for every other one, you're paying for paper, ink,
Right.
and
Ink.
staples. That's
Yeah.
it. And maybe a
Wow.
postage stamp if we're sending it out through US Post
Right.
for
Right.
you.
Right.
So,
Okay, so it's
I tell
nowhere near.
people,
Honestly, I was expecting way bigger investment than that.
yeah, no, I tell people, look, if you print a couple of hundred, you're going to be into it for 9,000, maybe $9,500. You
Right.
could print off, 500 for let's say $9,500. You could probably do 5,000 for $11,000, right? You're another
Right.
$1,000. You get the extra
Right.
4,500 pieces.
Yeah.
So It's literally every other one is pennies. That very first one, there's a lot of
Yeah.
work that goes into
Right.
it. Every other one, it's just a little bit more paper, ink, and staples, and that's it.
That's very cool. Does anybody do it like once a year? Like, could you do like
Yes,
here's our yearly, here's what we did last year, here's what we're doing this year, here's some highlights for people we helped, and you know, I could definitely see us doing that. I do like the idea of the newsletter. Now with the newsletter, you guys create that into a web version as well for email?
100%. All of our publications, we do provide an online version
Oh,
for
cool.
iPads and e-readers
Right, right. So
included in
so
all
we
of
can
our
email
programs.
that out to all of our clients and everything as well.
100%. And we really encourage you to
Yeah.
leverage that as much as possible, because the print magazines are going out, but the way we measure which articles got the most traction is with the online version. So
Yeah,
even
because
though
you can't tell the articles from you don't know what they're looking
on
at.
paper, yeah. But I
Yeah.
mean, as an example, we have, an insurance company in New Jersey who sends out
Right.
30,000 magazines every quarter. They send out a large number.
Yeah.
But over 3,000 visit their online version. And in 3,000, we
Interesting.
get, I mean, all you need is roughly what they say statistically 400 to 600 to
Right.
be statistically
Yeah.
relevant,
It's
no
like
matter what the
law of
numbers are.
large numbers is 500, right? 500 or more, and you get an idea of where you're
Yeah,
at.
yeah, yeah. And we can tell them, look, these are the articles that people are going after. But having said that, like even when we're in the planning stages,
Yeah.
we've gotten really good at doing keyword analysis.
Right.
So we can tell in your marketplace what people are searching for. And we will
Right.
tell you, look,
Right. So
in
we'll go
insurance,
through all that stuff. Like, here's our target client. Here's what they like, what they don't like, where they're spending time, all that stuff.
yeah, and we do a keyword analysis in your marketplace. And, a great example I always share is that, one guy says, we do a lot of insurance with contractors. We're builders and contractors.
Right.
We were searching and looking at it and saying, okay, what angle could we take with articles here? And we came back and said, you know what? Nobody's searching contractor insurance. But you know what people are looking for is they're looking for carpenter insurance. So let's write an article around insuring your carpentry business,
Right.
right? Or the risks associated with carpentry business, and how, for a small investment, you can mitigate those risks. Well, that article got a lot of traction online as well as in the magazine, because when you're using their language, the
Yeah.
language of your audience, they're going to
100%.
connect with that. And we
Yep.
can help you with that. And we even came to them, and we were the ones who said, look, you got to put an article out about this. And
Yeah.
because, he said, oh, I never would have thought about that. And, he was the same guy who said, I want to do an article on cyber liability insurance. And we did a search in the Midwest. We said, do you realize nobody's looking that up? Like, they don't care about it as much as
Nobody's
you
looked
do.
for that. Right.
You care about it a lot, but they don't.
Yeah.
So let's not waste good real estate in your magazine on that.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That's very cool, man. So yeah, I expected it to be a lot more expensive. Now, what kind of investment are you looking at for like just a basic newsletter? Say it's like, you know what, I just want to start on this. My thing with marketing, right, is everything that once worked really well, I think ends up coming back again, right? People miss it, right? So
I know.
like, it's like before COVID, business owners were getting tired of people coming into their business unannounced trying to sell them something, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now when you go door knock a business, they're like, "Oh man, like
Hey,
it's
come
been a while
on in.
since it's
Grab
been
a
a while
coffee.
since somebody's come in here, right? They feel important,
That's
right?
right.
Because now everybody's just calling, and now when you go into a business, they feel special, they feel important. Same thing with print, right? It used to be you're like, God damn, I'm tired of getting all this junk mail in my mailbox. Now,
Yeah.
not as many people are sending them. So when you get something in your mailbox, you're like, wow, I feel important.
And that's just it. You see a lot of big marketing gurus. I mean, Joe Polish wrote a whole piece on how he's going back to direct mail through
Yeah.
US Post, and he's
Yeah,
the one
I
who
crushed it in direct mail when I first started my business. Crushed it. We
yeah,
get a 4% call in. Crushed it. We
yeah.
probably sent a mail piece to every business in the country, and
And
then it
now
just kind of weird.
I
But
bet you
I
would
would do
actually
it
have
again.
depending on the offering and how you do it, but you potentially could have even better results now because
than what I did.
so
Yeah.
many fewer people are doing it. And that's what a lot of
Yes.
now you want to be smart. Like the day of blasting out 50,000 pieces out there,
Right.
it's just gotten expensive to do that.
Yeah.
But if you target your list and you say, you know what, these are the, Jack Daly talks about, the Dream 100. These are my
Right.
Dream 100, and you start sending them stuff through U.S. Post. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money,
Right.
and you all of a sudden you'll start to get traction with them because you're going to stand out compared to all your competitors
A
who are
hundred
sending them
percent.
emails every Friday afternoon.
Yep.
Who
Yeah.
opens those?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's email's tough too. Like you got to have thousands of domains if you want to get in their inbox. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it's a I've been trying to figure out email mass emailing for 8 years, and I only just recently figured out how to get 10,000 emails out per month into an inbox.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
or sorry, per day,
Per
and
day, yeah,
it took me 8 years to figure it out. It's
yeah,
like it's crazy.
yeah.
But yeah, dude. So I think print is definitely it's a strong tool now, right? It used to be the main tool.
Is
Now
and the other
not so many people are doing it, so now it's
yeah.
a specialized form of marketing, right?
And the thing I tell people too is the most the biggest part of the work is actually creating the content.
Yeah.
So if you're blogging already, even if you're not, like if you do a magazine, we have a lot of clients that started doing a magazine and where we write the articles that are keyword optimized.
Right.
They now have a regular source of content to go onto their blog. It helps with their
Exactly.
organic
They can
searches.
help with their blog, produce articles on other magazines. I mean, you can. I mean,
That's
the
right.
list goes on. Create videos from it.
And repurpose the
Oh
content
yeah,
because it's the
yeah,
ideas and the expertise
yeah,
that you have in your industry that your clients and prospective clients could
yeah,
benefit from. So why not share it in as many formats as you can?
yeah.
Digitally, articles, blogs, videos, and in print.
Right. And now, like, let's say we have a specific list of businesses we want it to go out to.
Yeah,
We can just provide that list. Say, hey, look, we want this to go out to the CEO, CFO, and whatever of this company, this company, this company, and they'll get it. And if it's a nice
yeah.
show us some of those magazines again. I want to see what they look
And the other thing I'll tell you too, with our brand promise of easy, effective, and enjoyable, we
like.
take
Right.
us post paperwork because if you're not used to dealing with them, it's a
Right.
lot of work. So
Right.
we do all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, this is a coaching company. You can see, quarterly magazine about
Yeah.
business. This is a law firm. We have our own magazine that we put out there.
They look good. Like if I
Yeah,
got that in the mail and
yeah,
it's colorful, it's not a big thick magazine, so you're like, oh, it's not full of ads. You know what I mean? Like
well,
it looks good.
yeah. And our designers, they've actually they've won awards with their design, and
I bet.
they just I love working with this guy because he likes to push the envelope on different things and stuff, and we just have a lot of fun with it, and even things like this is a big how many pages is this? This is a 100-page booklet for a conference, right?
Oh, okay.
So, and coordinating all that content with all the attendees and everything
Right.
else, so it's we just make it super easy to get it done, printed, and out the door and in people's mailboxes.
Right, right. I love that, man. It's a great idea, and then you know, as far as the content creation, um, with online and SEO and social media, do you guys help businesses with that side of it as well? Is it all kind of it ties together, or is it usually one or the other?
No, we do, and for a lot of our client partners, like I said, we are the thing that we're unique with is the print, and oftentimes because probably 90% of our new clients come to us to do something in print, but they
Right.
very quickly, we're telling them, look, if we're doing these articles, we at the end of it, we provide them with their online publication is a
Yeah.
given, But then the other thing, we always send them what we call a blog pack. So here's all your articles, keyword optimized, ready to copy and paste onto your website,
Right.
including the imagery that's used in your magazine. So it's all there, super easy for you to
And
put
that's
onto your
included in all
website.
that?
It's included in the blog pack. Yeah.
Wow.
And then for those who want us to, we'll put it on the website for them. Typically we don't manage websites, so
Right.
that's why we provide that. But
Yeah.
one thing we do, then we take those articles, and for those who want us to do it, we'll summarize it. We'll put it in blog post, but we'll summarize a LinkedIn article or
Right.
social media posts. We'll use the same imagery and put some short clips together, whether it's for Instagram or Facebook.
Right.
We'll take content, we'll edit the article down into it and have it professionally voiced over and create a video. So we have, we'll take a big article and
Right.
ratchet it down to
Right.
either
Into a,
30,
yeah,
60, or
30, 60,
120
90.
second
Yeah.
videos for TikTok or, whatever format they want to do. And it's all unique to that business, who they want
Yeah.
to target. Right. But we put the strategy together, and, when we create a piece of content, we could leverage that content across 6 different platforms
Right.
between print, video, and everything else very
Yeah.
easily, and no additional work on their part, because all they did was,
Right.
a lot of people wonder, well, how do I write all this content? Tell
Yeah.
you what, you get onto a Teams video
Right.
with one of our production managers, with your assigned production manager. They will interview you, and then we take care of the rest. You'll be able to read it before we publish it,
Right.
but it goes through 4 sets of eyes for proofing, but we'll take care of everything, and
That's
it'll just
amazing.
appear everywhere, and we'll take care of it all.
I love that. I love that, dude. So I got a business, I got an organization, whatever it may be. What's the next steps? Like, do we email you? Like, how do we have, like, do we have, is there like a consultation or something that we can do first?
Yeah, we always want to understand what it is you're trying to do, and people
Right.
always
What's
ask,
the goal with this?
what's the goal?
What is the goal here? Is it more clients? Is it more repeat business? Is it both?
And I always want to understand too, we want to understand what's your business strategy? Like, what are you trying to do? Like, manufacturing company we work with, they manufacture fire trucks. It's just a conversation we had not long ago. And he said, okay, now our next strategy over the next 3 years, we really want to break into this market, into this region,
Right.
this new region. So, okay, how do you do that? Well, let's put together that strategy. We do a multi-prong approach between some of their print, their
Right.
digital. How do we get your name known to your target audience in those new markets?
I love
And
this.
we'll help, we'll help build that strategy. So we always want to start with, look, let's jump on a call. It's done often over Teams or a phone call, and let's understand who you are, what you're
Right.
trying to accomplish, what you're trying to do. And look, after those calls, I've been a part of a number of calls where I said, I don't think we're the right fit for what you
Right.
want to do. Here's what I would suggest. And we don't
Yeah.
do that. And we'll be
Right.
upfront. If we're not
Yeah.
the right people,
That's
we'll let
good.
you know. But, we want to understand what you're trying to do so that we can fully understand if we can help you get there or not. And if we
Right.
can help you get there, for sure, then we have a better understanding. And the second step, we put together a customized demo just to go through, and we'll prepare some slides and some content to go through and talk about what we would recommend as a
Right.
potential strategy for you to be able to meet your growth goals or your communication goals. And then we take it from there and start to hone in on a program, price it out.
Right.
If somebody wants to get started, look, when do you need the first publication out? And we work backwards from there, basically.
Yeah. I mean, how realistically, how fast can you, like, let's say, okay, so where are we at now? We're almost in March. So let's say I want I want it out by Easter. Is that even
Yeah.
doable?
It is. It is.
Oh, wow.
We often we often work with an 8-week time frame,
Okay.
2 month. So 4 weeks to put the content together, have it
Right.
all ready to go, and then 4 weeks for design, proofing, printing, and
Yeah.
distribution.
Wow.
Um,
That's not
but
bad at all. That's not
but
bad at all.
our production team, I had one guy. My creative director would shoot me if she heard me saying this, but I had one guy say, "Okay, I want to do a magazine, a 32-page magazine, and I have a trade show in 2 weeks, and
Oh
I want to have
man.
copies in hand." I said, "No problem." and then
Wow.
and I had to deal with the wrath of her. But
Yeah.
as long as we can get the content created, we
Right.
have our company. We've never, ever since we started, we pride ourselves never missing a deadline.
Right.
If a deadline, if a deadline was missed, it was because the
Yeah.
client asked to extend for
Right.
one reason or
That's
another.
that's awesome. That's another thing I didn't think about. Like we go to trade shows, that would be a great thing to give out at trade shows rather than, giving out the stupid stuff that people throw away and don't look at, and you know.
That's right. And if you're
I love
talking
it.
to a prospect, what I
Yeah.
love about it is that, you know what, you're talking about AI. Look, here's our magazine, and here's
Yeah.
what we talk about.
Exactly.
This is
Like
an article
it's
on our favorite AI platforms. You
yeah.
know what? I'm going to fold this down, and you take this and read
Yeah.
this when you have time. They will not throw that away,
No.
and
No.
they will hold on to that. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's unbelievable.
I mean, it's a really it's a wow factor. Like I use metal business cards.
Yeah,
So like it looks
let's
like
stand out.
gold. It looks like gold.
I love it.
It's nice. It stands out. You hand somebody that, they're like, oh wow, like I'm gonna hold on to this. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, and I mean, I don't know what you could use it for. I guess maybe pop a bottle or something.
There you
But
go.
but yeah, I love the magazine thing. I think I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people start reaching out to you from our audience. I know
Yeah.
I'm going to. How do we schedule? Is there a link that people can go to? What do you got
Sure.
for our listeners and viewers? So we can figure out how they can get in touch with you, and so I can do the same. I'd love to
For
speak with you
sure.
further about this for our company, as well for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So one of the things that we did not long ago is it's actually our creative director Jessica Embry and myself. We wrote a book called Double Sales, Zero Salespeople, and we have a page set up for your listeners, and we're Tulip Media, so it's at tm.media/double sales. So tm.media/double sales, and if you go there, you can download a chapter of the book. You can buy the book there, but you can also book. And I really invite people to book a half an hour call, and there's a Calendly link. You can book it yourself. Book a half-hour call with either Jessica or myself, and we
Okay.
love talking strategy and marketing either
Yeah.
way. So book a call and start there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. So you said that was tm
tm.media
dot media
yeah
/
double
double
sales.
sales. Love it. Love it. I'll make sure that's included in the description. It'll probably be on the screen somewhere here as well. Man, it's been great talking to you. I can't wait to touch base and talk about our magazine. We're going to do a quarterly magazine. I love the idea. It makes sense, especially for us and the markets that we're working on tapping into.
Yeah.
I think it's a no brainer. Yeah, I'm excited to talk further about this, and so I'll definitely get that scheduled once we get off here. And man,
Sounds good.
yeah,
It's the ultimate business card.
yeah, dude, I'm looking forward to showing it off.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. That's
I
awesome.
appreciate your time, Andy.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been fun.
Absolutely, man. Same.